Yo, and we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, Dale Saint. Welcome. How y'all doing to a late night special lit Saint episode? Like, yeah, I've been out networking my ass off lately, guys. Oh, it's been wild. So, and just kind of getting back into the stream of things. My daughter's old enough to take care of herself, so I'm not worried about just leaving her home to go do stuff, which she's with her mom anyway right now. But when she is home, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta go do something. It's good. She's holding it down. And yeah, so I've been out. I've been out doing my thing, getting back on stage, getting all the rust off. What was that? Was it Funny Bone Thursday here in Tampa? It was just an open mic. I'm just trying to get back out there. Want to run some new material, all kind of stuff, man. Networking with my people and just really inserting myself into the Tampa and the greater Tampa area, like St. Pete, Clearwater. I'm gonna be probably trying to do something maybe tomorrow night. Might do a little comedy tomorrow. Then we have the 4th of July is coming up, so it's holiday weekend coming up. So I'm not gonna do too much in the run up to the 4th. Maybe a little bit on like Monday or Tuesday night, maybe. Then I'll be in Miami for the 4th of July weekend, and then I'm back. So once the holiday is over, I'm gonna really be getting after it. But anyway, I'm just saying all that to say that I'm out here networking. I'm out here doing stuff. And I was out, had a couple drinks, so I'm a little tipsy, you know what I'm saying? A little lit Saint episode. But I definitely want to talk to y'all about what I'm seeing out here. And we're gonna be talking about what's going on dating, what's going on with the young dudes out here and some of the old dudes out here and all the guys in between complaining about what's happening and the women trying to complain about what's happening. I'm gonna give y'all my 2 cents on what I see out here. And man, some of y'all might get a little salty, but I gotta get it to you the way I get it to you, raw and unfiltered. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. I hope all is well out here, bro. We got brother Michael in the building. What's happening? Good to see you, bro. Hope all is well on your end. I ain't hollered at you in a minute, man. I'm glad you here. You know what I'm saying? Your side of the world is probably not as late as it is here. You know what I mean? It's a quarter till 1 a.m. on the East Coast. We got two Michaels in the house. You know what I mean, brother? Yeah, we got brother Michael in my stroke in here, and we got Mr. Recreational Use only in the building. Fam, I'm coming to your soil, man. I'm gonna be down there this weekend, bro. I'm gonna be down there this weekend. I'm gonna be, I'm always in Brooklyn. But it's a really good chance, man. I might shoot out to Dolphin Mall. I'm gonna be with my brother, and he likes shopping. He shops everywhere from the high end joints to like the everyday people joints. So if we can work it into the schedule, man. We might shoot out to Dolphin Mall. So holla at me, bro. Holla at me, man. For real, hit my Instagram. I don't think you have Instagram, but if you do, just set one up just so we can get a hold of each other, man. Because I love to, break bread with your boy to be kind of cool. It has been a while, man. I'm back though. I had to sit down. Go back and watch that episode when I talk about what happened to me, bro. I had to sit down for a while, but I'm back now. Major League Baseball All-Star game. I'm not a huge baseball fan, although the Reds are, look like they're doing pretty good. I watched them play Pittsburgh a couple days ago. They were able to pull that one out. It got close. They were up by a few runs, and they let Pittsburgh get to within 1 run or 2 runs. They got within 2 runs. But Cincinnati was able to close out and win that one, man. But I've never been a huge baseball fan. I love playing baseball. Baseball was fun to play, really boring to watch, unlike football and basketball, which is really exciting to watch and play. But I might check it out depending on what's going on and where I'm at and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? My brother Michael Manstrug is saying, like, the best advice I can give dudes is to get outside and experience yourself. expose yourself to the world. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing. I mean, that's one way to do it, but you gotta be open, especially guys who have no experience out here trying to do whatever they're trying to do. You got to be open to how the dating landscape has changed. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes, so you got to stay in there. And let's stick with the baseball analogy. You got to get in there, man. You got to get into that batting cage, man. You got to take a bunch of swings, man. Got to take a bunch of swings, and you're gonna strike out most of the time, but you got to learn from that. Take a bunch of swings, man, and get in there, bro. You know what I mean? Get something for real, fam. I mean, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it, man. Get something for real. That's how we getting down. I don't know about Johnny Rockets, bro. I'm definitely thinking about Fuddruckers, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think that Fuddruckers, I think you told me that Fuddruckers is still in Doral. I wouldn't mind hitting that Fuddruckers, bro. I wouldn't mind hitting that at all. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna watch a video from Kit. You know what I mean? Stay slick with Kit. My man is doing big things over in London and UK, and I like watching his videos. I love the way he's approaching it. We're gonna definitely talk about him because there's a video out there when he was talking to this young lady, and she's talking about her struggles, and I just love the way Kit approaches it in the way he just brings it home without, just browbeating them and all that kind of stuff, man. Kit is just a real calm version of what Myron Fresh used to do in the early days, of Fresh and Fit. Whereas Myron was just going hardcore and, just kind of dunking on these chicks. Kit is like, okay, we're talking about the same stuff. And he's just kind of presenting it to them and forcing them to, as they say in UK, sort it out in their own mind. You know what I'm saying? Like he's forcing them to look at it. And, I really dig the way he handles that. So, and then this is live now, but, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'm gonna link the video in the description below so you guys can check out the whole video uncut. But we're gonna break that down. But before we get into it, man, I want to talk about the dudes, man. Like these dudes, bro. Yeah, man. Let's try to Fuddruckers is still there for real talk, man. Let's try to make something happen. Maybe, we can catch up with each other at Fuddruckers over there in Doral, because that's my joint, man. I haven't had a Fuddrucker hamburger in years, man. Years. I can't remember the last time I had one. It might have been when I was living in Miami back in 09, maybe from 09 until like 2012. So that'd be cool, bro. Like I said, man, hit up that that Instagram, bro. Like just to hit me up on Instagram so we can communicate and work something out. I'm also on Telegram and I'm on WhatsApp. So if you're on any of those, man, hit me up. It's DL Saint. So I'm out and about and I'm doing my thing. Thursday night, I went out. And the first thing I want to start with, when we're talking about this whole dating thing, bro, first thing I really want to start with, if you're out here, you're dating, you're looking for wife material, you're looking for a significant other, where you meet her matters. Real talk. Where you meet, your future wife, your girl, what I'm saying? Where you meet her matters. And the reason I bring that up is now I'm in my 50s, man. I'm chilling. I'm not out there doing what I was doing back in the day when I was young out there making it happen in my 20s, late teens through my 20s into my early 30s. I'm not this guy anymore. I'm not that guy anymore because that's what we were doing. It was holla, holla, holla. We in the club, man. We hollering, we grabbing them. What's up, baby? We doing all that. We parking lot pimping. And the mission was just to smash. Really, so don't keep it 100. The mission was to smash. I was not looking for a long-term relationship. I wasn't. I was out there doing my thing, having fun. It was what it was. And I look back on all that, right? Now, here I am in my mid-50s, and I look back on all that. And I never really had successful long-term relationships. I had a couple. But of all the women I was with and whatever, doing my thing, the vast majority of the women that I met, those relationships just didn't go anywhere. Why? Because I met them in the nightclub. I met them in the hole in the wall juke joints. I met them in the hood spots. I met them at those meetups. Like we would go to like certain places like in Cincinnati or anywhere. Like you met them in the park. Met him at Freaknik, met him at Aggie Fest. You know what I'm saying? Like met him at some lounge somewhere, met him at some sort of hood event. That's where I was meeting these women. You dig? It's like, so I'm meeting all these women. And when you meet women in these type of environments, okay, cool, bro. That's real conducive for some short-term energy. Like, all right, we just gonna smash. And maybe we'll be, you know what I'm saying, F buddies. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, the friends with benefits, as y'all call it, or whatever. Like it was just, we knew what it was. Man, we just doing this, getting it in. I wasn't meeting women at work. I wasn't meeting women at church or at church events. I wasn't meeting women at networking events, like professional things. Like I said, I wasn't meeting them at work. I wasn't meeting them at corporate events. I wasn't meeting them at like maybe kickball, like community kickball games arranged by, cool folks who were trying to get people together. I wasn't interested in meeting women that my people wanted me to meet. Hey, I got this girl. She's real nice. I go, she's been going to our church for as long as she's been alive. She's really cool. You guys should meet. I wasn't doing any of that. Right? I wasn't. Why I want to meet her? She ain't trying to smash. That was my mentality. But even when I was out there doing my thing, running rotations, I did still want a relationship. I wanted a woman that I could, have with me, as you young guys say, in my frame and all that. But if you're going out to spots where women are out here putting themselves out there in the wildest kind of situations, man, she ain't thinking about being a wife, or she ain't gonna know how to be a wife. All she gonna know how to do really is be a side chick, man, like a F buddy. She's never gonna be number one material in your rotation. She's gonna be a good, 3, 4, 5, 6 somewhere down there. Right? She's having fun, want to drink, want to party, want to kick it, come back. She's the booty call. She's the one that's down for whatever. You know what I mean? Like she's down to make it happen like that. So that was one of the things. I'm checking the audio real quick, guys. All right, cool. I got the audio's doing all right. I could turn this off now. Um, so I never had any real success long term. Like I said, maybe a couple. And we're talking about from age 16 to like I said, to age 55. It's a long stretch. Right. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I'm young and dudes my age ain't really trying to get it like that. But I'm sitting around thinking, because you gotta be self-assessing, fellas. You always gotta be thinking about this stuff. I'm sitting around thinking like, nah, one of my homies, Kokomo, he out there, he was the exact opposite of me. He didn't go to the clubs like that. He wasn't at the lounges like that. He wasn't in these type parties. Everything he did was corporate related or university related or church related. Right. So while I'm out here wilding, running through what I'm running through, chick after chick after chick, the whole time that whole time for that, from the time we were, I'm gonna say 16 until late 20s, early 30s, until I actually left Cincinnati for good. He had 2, maybe 3 relationships that I knew of. I'm gonna say 2. Long term, doing this thing. So for me, it was easy to look back and say, all right, well, I could look at my man Coke and what I'm doing. What's Coke doing? What's Saint doing? And he's in these long-term relationships. And it worked. I mean, it was decades. And he was doing his thing, and then it didn't work out with one, and he moved into another relationship, almost seamless. And even when he was between relationships, he still wasn't in the clubs like that. He was doing other things, like I said, to organize, softball or kickball games. Like he's going to, instead of going to nightclubs and lounges and hood stuff, I never saw him there. But where would I see him? I would see him at, like nice barbecues, like family events. I would see him at university events because, he went to a really nice college. I would see him, like I said, at corporate events. He would like invite me, like, yo, why don't you come out to this thing? We got a whole bunch of people. He was in the legal pharmaceutical business. Like he was, he was like a pharmacist type stuff, right? So he's meeting women that have a different mentality than the women that I'm meeting. And it's like I said, it's all about where you meet them. You know what I mean? Boy, you tripping with the weave hat things. I mean, you always gonna have some women who might have some sort of hairdo, but that's another thing too, man. I wasn't really with the crazy hairdos, man. Like that's like, I don't the fake hair and the BBLs and all that. Well, we'll get into that as well later. But looking back on it all, like my homie Coke had way more opportunities and he was happier in his relationships than I was. I mean, of course, sometimes we would sit around and it would be the grass is greener kind of stuff. I'll be sitting around, talking about what I'm into. He might be having a rough patch. And be like, yeah, man, I should get back to that because his game was just as strong as mine. Every bit as strong, maybe stronger. Dude had game. He knew how to holler at people. You know what I mean? Light skinned with pretty eyes. He's calling like pretty eyes, right? He had no problem. Extremely social and he had skills that I didn't have because of the whole university thing. Like he went to private schools and then he was able to get into really good universities. So he had a skill set that I didn't possess. And that had him in circles that were foreign to me at the time. Later on down the road, I was able to get into those circles. But early on, couldn't get into those circles. Couldn't get into them. I just didn't have access. And if you turn me loose in those worlds, like instead of me being like in some hood spot somewhere, if you turn me loose and, one of these events, I mean, yeah, I would fit in. I knew how to socially move and basically I was just quiet and I would listen more than I would speak, but you could tell I wasn't as comfortable. And I'm learning what they're doing in this bubble and it took me some time. So if I came across a woman who went to Cornell or Brown or UPenn or Harvard, even if she grew up similar to me in a hood type environment, we weren't on the same wavelength. But those are the women, when you're young, those are the women you want to holler at. And it's not to say that she can't be out there doing some wildness. It's not to say that she doesn't have, right, like a graveyard in her, like skeleton graveyard in her closet. It doesn't mean that, but she is cut from a different cloth and moving a different way on a different path. And that's the woman you that's the woman you definitely want to consider for long-term relationships, right? So where you meet is real important. I was at a spot here in Tampa, urban joint, and that's what really got me to thinking about it because it was like the last stop of the night. We were bouncing around different places, cigar lounges, and I did some comedy. We did cigar lounges, nightclub type environments, and then we wind up at this place. And I'm in there, and I'm just thinking like, yo, this was me when I was young. And I'm looking at the club, and there was a couple things that went through my mind. First thing that went through my mind is because this place is normally packed. They have one big night. And when you in there on that night, bro, like you can't even move around. I'm talking about they in there packed in there. Not on this particular night. It wasn't that crowded. It was crowded. It was full, but it wasn't packed. And I'm looking around and I'm looking at the ages of the people in there. And I'm just kind of doing a quick assessment. I'm like, bro, the median age in this joint's got to be 35 to 37, somewhere in there. It was old. And you got these, older dudes, older women moving like they're still 20 somethings. The women, the way they were dressed. And, y'all know how women in the clubs be. If you don't, they wilding. And, I'm sitting back and I'm watching this and I'm like, damn, bro, I spent all of my time when I was younger in this environment and I was successful. Being in a place like that, bro, come on, man, I'm pulling something. It wouldn't be that hard. I was just, like I said, it was holla, holla, holla. I was so aggressive with it, man. I mean, this was us. Holla, 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 holla. That was us. Holla, 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 parking lot pimping, get outside. We out there doing what we do, saying what we say. And mind you, didn't have a lot of money back then, so I wasn't coming up in there telling me, let me get you a drink. Nah, I'm in there with game. Like, what's up? I'm telling her to get some lame to buy her a drink, make it a Hennessy and bring it to me. I'm doing that with total strangers. That was part of our thing. And it worked. These women would do it. I'm in there talking to them like, what's up? You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. I wasn't wearing, you know what I mean, designer stuff. I wasn't wearing the big chains with the timepieces and all that, the shoes. And nah, I wasn't wearing any of that. You know what I mean? I'm in there with clothes I got on sale. Probably got stuff from TJ Maxx or, you know what I mean, from Burlington Coat Factory or whatever. I didn't care about what I was wearing. And it wasn't even about the clothes. Because clothes didn't make me. I made the clothes. And my whole crew, like we were all like that, bro. We was a pack of savages out there doing our thing. Women love confidence. It's something I'm always talking about on this platform. And I just got to really dig down on that. Women love confidence. And it's really hard to find a confident man today in this environment. They're really hard to come across. I'm just, from a guy who's out here just watching what's going on around him, not a lot of confident men out there. And when you do see a confident guy, yo, he's pulling. He's pulling the top tier, the women that are most sought after in that particular environment, he's pulling them. If you got confidence, man, like I said, she's coming your way. Right? So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this. Like, yo, I can't believe I spent so much time in this type of environment. But again, I was smashing left and right. You know what I'm saying? There's some hood things. I was a hood dude with my people. Man, we bringing them out of there, man. And we talking to women who weren't even trying to be feminine. We talking to women that, I'm talking to women in the club the same way I was talking to my people. Like, what's happening, man? What you doing? Come here. What's up, man? Come on over here. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you, girl. Quit playing. Get over here. We talking like that. And they come over at, what you talking about? Have you guys ever heard that you ain't that Trick Daddy and Trina song? Right? I don't know nan, bitch. Right? That song, you don't know that, right? That the preamble or the intro to that, when they talking back and forth, like, oh, that right there, boy, that was us. That was us. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that right there, boy. They're like, man, that trainer right there, but man, tell her, bring that on over here. Man, look at that muscle, boy. She got that monkey on there. That was us. You know what I mean? Not as country, like in our vernacular, but like, yo, what's up, man? Who that? Oh, yeah, that's a little shorty from so-and-so. She live on that side of town or whatever. Where'd she go to school? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, she went to West High. She went to Aiken. She went to Princeton. Like, she went to Princeton? Oh, she live out there in the burbs? Like, yeah, man. Her people, da. Man, I'm finna go holler at her, man. You want me to introduce you? Hell no, I got this, man. I'll be right back. You know what I mean? And we go over there and holler, you know, hey, what you talking about? Like, what you mean? What am I talking about, girl? Come on now. You saw me over here checking you out. Quit playing. We was aggressive like that, but it was every dude. Every dude, just making up numbers. 45% of the dudes in the club was confident. And we were just running our game. Everybody was running their game. Everybody had a backup plan. It's not like, oh, it's sink or swim. Like, we got to get something out of here. It was over. Nah, we all had backup plans, man. We knew we was going to smash something that night. We were just trying to smash her because she's finer than what I got lined up over here. Because if what I got lined up was a dime, I'm leaving anyway. I'm going to get her right now. Why am I in here? I'm out. So that was the mentality. Today, we see it. We see it on social media, and I see it in real life. Dudes aren't even trying. Dudes have no game. They got no rap. You know what I mean? They don't know how to talk to these girls. Man, they don't know how to walk up. They don't, except, and you see the dudes who do the pickup artistry. You see them. You listen to the stuff. You listen to what they're saying. You listen to their lines and whatnot. It's like, bro, these dudes are pathetic. But because there's no other dudes even doing that, they're getting success. You know, like the cats from Playing with Fire. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, man, ain't no way in hell they wouldn't have pulled nothing back then. They wouldn't even been able to pull white girls. They wouldn't pull nothing with that. With the stuff they doing now, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But today, because dudes have no confidence, these dudes have leveled all the way up. And the women are like, well, there ain't nobody else talking to me, so I might as well holler at these dudes. And that's what I just want to get out there. I just want people to know, man, that folks are not lazy, but afraid to put in the work, and they're afraid to hear no. And I was seeing that in this nightclub with these old people who, in my opinion, was just way too old to be in there. And people like, well, you were in there. Like, bro, I'm in there because my people in there. It's like I said, I'm networking. And it's, I knew when we went in this joint, I'm like, I ain't trying to holler at nobody. And the only people in there that I really talked to was one bartender because she was cool. And the rest of it was just a mess. I mean, and you just in here with these older women who trying to get it in. Women, like women in their 30s and 40s, they're really peaking sexually, man. They horny, bro. Them legs are rubbing together. They trying to get it in. They're the equivalent to dudes who are like, 18, 19, 20 years old, which is crazy, right? Guys are like sexually peaking at that age, and women are sexually peaking when they're way older. These women in here trying to get it in, and you just have to put in the work. For me, too much work for the type woman. Like, like Rich Cooper says, man, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Man, he ain't lying about that. Cause my thing is, you gotta be, fine for me to holler at you today. You gotta be fine, or you gotta really have amazing conversation. That's what I'm looking for. But when I was younger, we just trying to get it in. And every now and then we would come across, you know what I'm saying, like a little sugar mama type, bro. No, no. You know what I'm saying? Older, we would call them grannies. Come across a granny every now and then. It was like a bad body and everything. We knew she was old, and she over here messing with us. We in our 20s. You in your mid to late 40s. You over here messing with us? Come on, you know what it is. You gonna let me get up all in them guts, let me smash, and then you gonna, make me some mac and cheese or something. Make me some pancakes from scratch, some eggs and bacon in the morning, and I'm going about my business. Ain't gonna be no relationship over here. You know what it is. She got what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? She got that itch scratched. And if you do it good enough, man, she's definitely gonna get up and go cook you some breakfast. That's what we was dealing with. Brother Michael's like, he's saying, I'm not woman bashing, but it's just not a serious attraction or wife material at all. I mean, there are women out there. I get what you, if you're in these certain spots, like I said, if you're in the nightclub, if you're in the lounge, you're at the mansion parties, the penthouse parties, if you're on the yacht parties, right? If you out here, you know, South Beach during spring break or like that type stuff, nah, man, you're not gonna get a good woman. The good women aren't really there. You might have a woman who's with her friends and didn't realize how they got down, and they get there and it's like, oh, I don't like it. These girls are way too loose. And then those girls will leave. They'll call home, like, get me out of here. I need to go. Or they'll, mommy and daddy get them a hotel room somewhere else away from everything. There are some good girls, but those girls aren't going to be kicking it and comfortable and, like flashy or like down in Mardi Gras or whatever, like trying to just come home with random dudes like South by Southwest, like you go to these little festivals and concerts or whatever, these type things. Yo, these women trying to get it in. And if you know what you're doing as a guy, you'll see it. And that was my problem. I would see the good women and I would see the loose women. And I went after the loose women. Right? My homie, same thing. He would see the good women, he would see the loose women, he would go after the good women. So he had a few long-term relationships over this time span, and I had mass, right? He would have like 2 or 3 long-term relationships during this period, that's really the key, fellas. Me, I'm out here banging, on a good week, maybe 2 or 3, 4 different chicks that I just met, and then forget what they look, forget about them, lose their numbers. Because back then, no social media, it was all about phone numbers and all that. Get their phone number, go holler at them, take them out. Some women were down to go that night. Some women you had to kind of work at a little bit. Me, I'm out there with my 3-day rule. So I'm like, 3 days or 3 dates. If we ain't smashing, I'm moving on to the next one. I live by that. You cannot find long-term success when you're getting down like that. It just be 100. And therein lies the problem. Because you'll have guys, late bloomers or whatever, or guys who didn't have game and they stumble into the Mano Swamp. They find some red pill content, right? Maybe some pickup artistry or whatever. And they go out and they start using these new techniques and it works. And they're getting these girls and they're not realizing you're getting these women who are really like the short-term thing. Like you're supposed to bring them back to the crib, smash, be cool with them or send them on their way. You're not supposed to be wifing them up, right? Like that's the problem. Like you're not supposed to be wifing them up, son. If you are in the nightclubs and all the stuff that I'm talking about, man, you're not gonna find your wife in there. I mean, Can you? Is it possible? Sure. What's the percentage of of you meeting Mrs. Right in that environment? Just making up numbers. I don't know. Maybe 1 in 20,000, something like that. Maybe 1 in 100,000. You have to meet 100,000 girls in the nightclub, in the lounges, in these ghetto parties to meet one good one. And I'm using hood, I'm saying ghetto, but it's the same thing, what I mean, from the white brothers and sisters out there or whatever, the Asians, the Latinos. If you're going to like frat parties, if you're going to the college parties, if you're going to your like non-sanctioned events, like, and by non-sanctioned, I mean like grown-ups ain't involved, the church ain't involved. You just going out here kicking it, going to the lake, getting on the boats, drinking like crazy, going out to the sandbars and all that kind of stuff. That's all the same. It's all the same. You might be like, well, I never go to those hood places anyway, but we'll be at the sandbar. Same thing. Same thing. You're at the sandbars, and it's no different than being at the lounge or club or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The after hours, it's the same thing. And instead of drinking Hennessy and smoking on some green, when y'all drinking Budweisers or PBRs and popping pills, it's the same thing. You're not gonna find a woman that's quality for you and is gonna go the distance. And if you're not a dude who's gamed up and you understand this, you're gonna wind up trying to marry one of these women. And then it boils down to, well, whose fault is that? Like, bro, yours. You chose her. You chose her. You pursued her. You ignored all the red flags. You married her. You had a couple kids. And then you're sitting here in the red pill space mad because you got brutalized by the family court system and you lost everything. Whose fault is that? Is your fault. That's what you get for marrying a 304. You cannot turn a 304 into a housewife. You can't. It doesn't happen. You can't do it. Right? So just for me, like just looking back, I'm like, yo, man, I had an opportunity to be with some amazing women. I was with them. Like they're amazing women. But again, I'm using my 3-day rule. I'm using my game. They're for me because I'm coming at them way different. And they holler at me. And again, it's like the bad boy thing. She got the bad boy and she's thinking, I want to change the bad boy. Wasn't no changing me back then. No. Wasn't no changing me, bro. I was doing what I was doing. And it sucks. Really, when you think about it, because I tell these dudes who are like, hey man, how do I get these women? I'm like, you gotta have these bad boy traits. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. Your game gotta be this, gotta be that. Yeah. And then they do it and they're like, yeah, this shit works. Like all these girls hollering at me. But at the same time, it's like, but that's not really me. I don't want to do that until I'm in my 50s. I'm trying to get me a good woman, man. So, and when I talk to guys now, and this is something that I've been really contemplating and just bouncing around my head, it's like, well, now I tell these dudes like, all right, look, it's a couple phases, man. Like you got to go through the bad boy phase. You got to learn this game. You have to learn it. But then once you do that, now you begin to see and you can tell who the good girls are versus who the bad girls are. You look at where they are, how they dress, what they're doing, how many people they know, and how many guys know them, and all that stuff you hear in the red pill. All that stuff is spot on. But when you come across a woman who's not that, now you got to learn how to kind of slowly back off of the bad boy stuff. But you don't want to come off too much because if you come at her like a good boy, she's going to friend zone you. And I know it sucks. People are like, man, this is complicated. This is hard, man. This sucks. How come I gotta act like I'm a player? How come I just can't give her everything? How come I just can't show her I love her and I want her to be with her? I'm like, you can, but you gotta take your time. You don't want to do it too fast because even though she's a good girl, she might friend zone you. She might feel pressure. You're moving too fast, right? You might wind up pushing her towards a real bad boy who's out there trying to holler at her, running all sorts of game. So, I mean, it's like, bro, it just ain't easy. And that is the problem in today's sexual marketplace, especially when it comes to dudes. They don't want to do the work. They just don't. Like, man, this doesn't make any sense. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Let me just move on. That's what I'm seeing out here in today's market. It is far easier to jump in someone's chat in in the red pill world, in the Mano swamp, and just brutalize and beat up on women and say it's all women's fault and blah 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 blah. It's easier to do that than it is to go out here, learn game, always be self-assessing, always be talking shit. Like I say, ABTS, you're always out there working on your game, talking to women no matter where you are. Like I said, I was just at the neighborhood bar tonight. We got a new neighborhood bar. I could walk to the neighborhood bar. I like the neighborhood bar. They got cool bartenders, cool wait staff. They have one server who's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, when I see her, I'm just like, yo, little shorty. And I could tell she's older, right? She's not a young girl, she's older, but man, she was able to hold on to her beauty. Um, Very feminine in the way that she moves, she carries herself. Now, again, this is all work. She's at work, have no idea what she's like in the real world. But man, she really presents well. Um, Gorgeous. And then, I look at that, and any dude will be around this woman and would I can just see guys falling head over heels for this woman, right? But you got someone like me, just an old school player, and I'm just looking at what's going on. I'm looking at, tattoos, I'm looking at the way you dress, I'm looking at your style, how you wear your hair, like what other accessories you're wearing. This is all while you're working. And I already know if I were to see her outside of her job, oh man, she could look so elegant. I guarantee you, like I believe that she would dress modestly, but the amount of attention and how many the amount of dudes that hit on her daily, and then her social media. This is when you need the game so you can check certain things out. Like, all right, you know, what type of tats do you have? How many tats do you have, and where are they? That's one of the things you'll look at. Okay, how easy is it or how hard is it to get a hold of her? All right. Then you get to social media. Okay, does she have social media? You guys know what that is. Like, is it open to the public or is it private and only family and friends? Is she thirst trapping? I mean, there's so many things that you have to know today. And the dudes get themselves in trouble because they'll meet a woman who's a little more mature. I mean, she looks so elegant, but they'll ignore some ink. Like, oh, that's not too bad, that tattoo. They'll ignore the social media that is not private, and it's a couple thirst traps in there, and you got all the dudes in the DMs. They'll ignore that. Oh no, she's really not like that. It's like, bro, she wants the attention, she wants the validation, she knows what she's doing. These are red flags, son. You can't ignore them. You must acknowledge the red flag, and if you want to continue, fine, but at least acknowledge it. Right? That's the game today. So I know how dudes get caught up. Where does she like to hang out? Right? Is she out there clubbing? Is she out there in the lounges? Again, is she on the mansion parties, the boat party, like the yacht parties, just the penthouse parties? Right? Who does she know? Right? Who is calling, and what call does she always take no matter what? Like, who is that dude? So, there's a whole thing, there's a whole bunch of things you gotta look at. There's a whole bunch of things you gotta look at. But dudes don't want to do all the work. They're like, man, she's beautiful and she's fit and she's friendly and I'm in love. And this is why I tell you guys, you must control your emotions. Must control your emotions. I see, like I said, I'll see this woman. I go to the bar, I don't know, maybe once or twice a week because it's so close. I can just walk over there. And I'm there again. I'm networking. I'm making friends. You always want to be cool with people who work at bars and restaurants, especially in your neighborhood, because they know all of the other people who work at all the other bars and restaurants in your neighborhood or in their town. And you just never, they're always going to be like, yo, we got this event coming up. You should go. Go with us. We're all going as a big group. That's what you want to do. Now, I mean, and again, it ties into what Michael Certain talks about when he's talking about social proof and stuff like that. And I'm always doing events. So if you're around the restaurant people, if you're around the club owners, one of them's gonna want to do a comedy show or some sort of event, and they're like, "Yo, Saint, that's what he does." Word, like, yeah, he's retired from the government, but he does comedy. I went to some of his shows. Yo, he's funny, and he puts together shows. He does shows. You should talk to him. And for me, that's money. That's money. So I'm like, cool. But at the same time, I'm checking out what's going on with the women. I'm checking all that out. Right? Again, the social proof thing is spot on. What Michael Sertain is doing, when like that, what they're doing over in Men of Action, and this is not a paid sponsorship. I'm not a member of Men of Action over there, but I see what they're doing, and from what I can tell, it works, especially for guys who don't have the experience that they need to go out here and deal with women, especially today. But back to what I was saying with men, where you meet your potential wife is extremely important, right? It's extremely important. Um, Brother Pitney in the building. What's happening, fam? I see you. Yeah, man, we doing a little lit Saint episode. I was out and about over the past few days, and I came in tonight after being out a little bit. I watched Messi break some sort of record playing soccer. I ain't a soccer guy, but it was kind of cool to watch soccer history. And then I watched Austria look like they got eliminated, and then all of a sudden scored a goal in like the last seconds, right? So there's like they tied, so I guess they're still in it. I'll never really be crazy into soccer, just too boring. But it's the World Cup, so I'll watch it. And I was out hanging out, talking to my new bartender friends. Talking to my new wait staff friends. Waiting to get cool, getting a lot of time talking to managers and stuff like that. Again, I'm networking. Came home and I'm like, you know what? Let me do a lit Saint episode real quick. I'm glad you love them, bro. I love doing them. I ain't gonna lie. I love doing them. And I want to thank everybody who's been kind of new to the platform, jumping on, making comments, liking videos and stuff like that. So the algorithm has been hitting me up in my YouTube studio, like, oh, you should go live. So when the audio, like today, I got a message from YouTube telling me I should go live. And I'm like, all right, I better do it. So I'll go live. And then, of course, we'll break this up into a bunch of shorts. And hopefully we'll continue to, to get this traction. But fellas, there's no getting around being gamed up. You can't get around it. You must be gamed up. And if you're not gamed up and you venture out into these dating trenches, bro, you're probably going to get hurt. Right? Because you're not going to control your emotions. You're not going to pay attention to the red flags, especially if she's cute. Right? You're going to ignore some of the things that she's doing, like the fact that she might be taking advantage of you. You might be in her rotation and you don't even realize it, right? Friends without benefits. You're just in the friend zone, and here you are spending tons of money just because she's, works down her roster and she gets down to the bottom, and there you are, you're always available. And she's like, I feel like doing something, so he'll take me to this restaurant. You need to learn this stuff. And one of the biggest factors, I think the biggest red flag, man, if you met her, and like I said, in one of these hood type, crazy, hedonistic type events or venues, more than likely, bro, she out there doing her thing. More than likely, she's got a lot of skeletons in that closet, bro. Like I said, a couple cemeteries worth. It is what it is. And more than likely, she's not going to be able to hold the facade for long. And when the truth comes out, you're going to wind up stuck on stupid. So if you're in these places I'm talking about, man, you know what I'm saying? Like the hood nightclub, the hood lounge, like I said, the mansion parties, the penthouse parties, the yacht parties, the parties in the park when it's just like DJs and just crazy, everybody doing pills or whatever, like the festival type stuff. If you're meeting women in these venues and these type events, man, be real careful, son. Especially if she's always going to something. Be real careful with that, son. And these are the women who are going to want to do the girls' night out. They're going to do the girls' trips and all that kind of stuff. These are the women who they're getting it in. Their DMs are packed. They're getting it in. You want to be careful with that. Now, if you meet a woman at, some sort of corporate event, you meet a woman at some event that's sponsored by the church or the community, like you're going to barbecues, you're going to socials. Yo, socials are good. For the Latinos out there, like socials, you go to a social and you're just dancing, socials are good. And then people say, well, that's nightclub, isn't it? I mean, man, they out here dancing. But yet, in the Latino world, and I know Rich Cooper has a different take on this, but in that world with like salsa, merengue, bachata, and all that for dancers, it is a little bit different, but you need to know what you're doing. Like you need to know what you're doing. But women who dance, not all of them trying to get it in. There are a lot of women who dance and just love to dance. Now, the way that they dance with men tells you a lot, but you have to sit back and watch. Like, is she getting real sexual, real sensual with every dude she dances with? She's just doing that with dudes that are taller than her, you know what I mean, fit, with game. Like, okay, who and how is she dancing? Like, who is she dancing with and how is she dancing with them? So you want to sit back and just pay attention to that. And the best way, again, there's no way around it. What you must do is keep your emotions in check, man. You got to be able to look at it through the lens of a player. Like, all right, I see what it is. All right, cool. And then you get to make your choice. At that point, like, all right, I'm gonna smash and just whatever. We maybe put her in my rotation. We're just doing our thing. Again, friends with benefits, friends with understanding. Or I'm just gonna pass up on this. Like, you know what? Nah, I ain't gonna mess with it. She too pretty. I'll fall in love with her, man. I'm gonna leave her alone. Right? Because you see what she's doing. But this is the problem today. These young guys, man, they have no idea. No idea. Right? So you definitely want to be on top of that. Now, I started off with the dudes for a reason. I just want you guys to know that at the end of the day, it's up to you, man. It's you. Your success solely hinges on the amount of work you're willing to do. It's on you. Like, your success and your failure is 100% you. It's like what Andrew Tate said about playing chess. What the one thing he loves about playing chess is if you lose, you did something wrong. Can't blame anyone else. It wasn't the referee's fault. You know what I mean? It wasn't, what your opponent did or didn't do. It wasn't what your coach told you. It's what you did at that board, sat there playing chess with that person. You screwed something up and you lost. That's chess. And that's when you out here in these streets trying to date in today's sexual marketplace, bro, you playing chess. You playing chess. So you have to get out here. You got to get that score up. You got to go out here and pay attention and watch and learn and, take your hits, like a man, and just bounce back and keep coming back. And then eventually, you'll start killing folks. Eventually you just start slaying them on the chess, in the game, and getting better and better and better. So when you do fail, it's your fault. And for, all of the dudes to be in the chats complaining about women or whatever, man, I got no respect for you, son. I mean, you're like, it's just too hard. It's supposed to be hard, bro. Anything worth having is going to be difficult, man. I can't enjoy it if it wasn't hard. Like, if someone just gave it to me, I cannot truly enjoy that. Like, I didn't have to work for that. He just gave it to me. That don't mean nothing. I remember my first timepiece, man. I had to bust my ass for that. Nobody just give it to me. I wanted that. My first timepiece. You get a few more, and like you just appreciate it more. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I got a real nice car. Ain't nobody give me that. Man, I had to work my ass off for that. I made sacrifices for that. That's the biggest problem with dudes in the sexual marketplace today. You guys, you just don't want to do the work. Now, we'll talk about the women. So we're about to watch a video. Stay Slick with Kit is not in the description yet, but I will put this video in the description. And then, once you click on it or wherever you watch it later on, please go to his page. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe, check out his stuff. I encourage you to watch this long form interviews with these girls, but we're just going to watch a clip. And women are really hurting themselves because they don't understand hypergamy. They don't understand why they're getting pumped and dumped. They don't understand how guys can do what they're doing. Women believe that men mate select the same way that women do. So when a woman sits there and is like, you guys have heard this a million times. She's like, all right, I'm making six figures. And, I have all these college degrees. I got all these letters in front of and behind my name. And I have social proof. That makes me more attractive to men, especially men who are successful. And then the guys who are successful is like, nah, sis. We just want you to be fit, fine, and feminine. Or we want you to have a big butt and be willing to give me that booty, lay down or get on your knees or something like that. That's what the dudes are thinking. And Women can't comprehend the fact that a dude, a top tier man, a top shelf dude, will bang a woman who's like not, who's like below average. You know, she's like a 6 at best, 5 at best. She can't believe that a male 10, a guy she sees as a 10, will go trolling and bang like a 3, 4, or 5. It's like, yeah, this closet is full of them. He has all the choice. And because women have this hypergamous dating strategy, it just gives all those dudes at the top all the leverage. So I want to watch this video. Check this out, man. Like I said, again, shout out to Stay Slick with Kid. Let's get him a Don DeMarco because he's just doing good work over here. Great work. So let's check out what Kid's talking to. He has this young woman. Again, he's over in London. Kid's like, he's a media guy. He's an actor, over 6 feet, handsome fella, very successful, right? Top shelf man, high value man. Speaking of top shelf, Rich Cooper's latest book, I believe, is called Top Shelf Man. I have the book downstairs. It was like number 3, you know what I mean, in my queue to read. I'm just about done with Sextinction. It's 8 chapters long. I'm like halfway through chapter 8. I'm almost done with Sextinction. I'll be done with that tomorrow. I was supposed to be done with it today, but I did a whole bunch of other stuff. But the next book I'm going to jump into is Rich Cooper's book. I want to read that, see what he's talking about with Top Shelf Man. But Kid is every bit of that. And I would guarantee you that the vast majority of women that he encounters, especially in the UK, look at him as a high value man, top tier man. He fits the criteria. So the way he talks to these women, I think is just amazing. And what he's doing, he's coaching women. Whereas in the Red Pill and the Mano Swamp, dudes, most of the dudes, especially dudes like me, we're trying to coach up these young dudes. Like we're trying to get these young guys together. Kid is getting the girls together. And, you know, he has a group, you know, like with a paywall, and he has women coming in there actually listening to his coaching and doing their best to get better because he's helping them get the guy. He's helping the women get the best guy that they can get, not necessarily the guy that they think they deserve. I think that's the best way to put it. And he's found a way to maneuver that minefield because when you tell a woman you ain't fine enough to get that guy, you're not fine enough to get Michael B. Jordan. And she's like, but he banged me. Yeah, he banged you. I'm sure he did. But do you have his number? Well, I got his Instagram. Okay. When I send a message on his Instagram, he always hits me back. Yeah, because he's paying somebody to answer those DMs. That's not him. Right? Tell me to give you a voice, you know what I mean? Do a FaceTime real quick. If you got it like that, sis. And when you tell women this, they don't want to hear it and they normally go run away, bury their head in the sand. So shout out to Kid for figuring out a way to maneuver that minefield. And he's getting these women to come in and they're open to his coaching and they're out here hopefully finding or getting the results that they couldn't get before him. So anyway, let's get in here. Let's check this out. This is Stay Slick with Kid.
I grew up on providership. Like my dad, as much as he was, however he was, he provided for my mom and me. Like, yes, she worked because obviously there was a part of her that didn't want to stay at home. But like, I grew up on that. Like the fact that a man does provide that kind of safety and that, you know, nowadays it's hard with financial stuff because obviously cost of living crisis is not for the weak, you know. So I'm not a spoiled person that I'm expecting that man to literally, you know, but I do want to feel like taken care of and I do feel like something, and I do believe it's out there, but I do believe I also need to position myself in a way where like I'm actually attracting those people.
This is what you're gonna do,
bruh. What's that? What's that mean, bruh? So here's the thing. I see this woman. I'm pretty sure she's a nice lady, nice young lady. But men are attracted to beauty, youth and beauty, but mostly beauty. Right? Man, look at her. I'm not trying to dog her. I'm not trying to, look at her. This woman right here, sat across from Kit, gets more attraction, gets more opportunities sexually and relationship wise than a guy who is in the top 15 percentile. She she gets, on a scale of 0 to 10, bro, I have to give her a 4, right? On a scale of 0 to 10, I use 0 to 10 because 5 is the median, right? You got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 5 slots below 5. You got 5 slots above 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 5's the median. The vast majority of us, in my opinion, fall somewhere between 4, 5, and 6. I would say 80% of us fit there. 4, 5, and 6. That's like one step below the median, one step above the median. That's the vast majority of us, right? That's 80% and this is unscientific. This is just me making up my numbers. 10% fall in that top 5 bracket, right? The 7, 8, 9. What is that? 4, 5, 4, 5, and 6. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? Those 4 spots, 20% of us, 10% of us, let's think. Y'all know I'm tipsy. 10% fit into that, and then that leaves us another 10%, and it's 10% that falls into that bottom 4 slots, the 0, 1, 2, and 3. So you got in the median, you got 4, 5, and 6, one slot below and one slot above the median. That's 80%. You got 10% at the top, and you got 10% at the bottom, right? In the top being 7, 8, 9, 10, and the bottom being 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So that's how I look at it. The vast majority of us fall in the middle, 10% at the top, 10% at the bottom, right? 80, 90, 100, right? So that's how I look at it. This young lady right here, not to beat her up, not trying to beat her up, but man, oh man, I'm being generous when I say 4. Man, I'm being generous. The more I look at this picture, I'm saying 4. And she might be a 3. She might be in that bottom tier, that 0, 1, 2, and 3 tier, maybe 3.5. I don't and I because looking at her sitting there, and we could definitely tell she has some extra pounds, man. She's a big girl. So, and again, everyone's scale is subjective, but on my scale, man, I'm sorry, man. I will put her at 3, 3.5. If she has an amazing attitude, that can like bump her up to a 4. Um, but even at the 3, she's getting more play, she's getting more attention and more validation than a guy who's a 7 or an 8. And that's just how skewed the game is. That's just the game, man. Hey, don't get mad at me. Don't kill the messenger, man. Don't shoot the messenger. I ain't make this up. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But it's so many dudes who are just willing to do anything and everything so they can smash something, and they will gladly smash her. You'll have guys up there like, 7, 8s, and 9s on a slow Tuesday. Well, all right, let her do whatever. You want to do a little something, something? Go ahead, girl. And then she'll smash that guy. And then she thinks that's that's where I qualify, right? With alpha widow. So that's the game. That's just how the game is played. And Kit is about to square her away and like just really drag her into reality, man. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Find those 5 women
Mm-hmm.
who are in relationships with the kind of man you want to be with, and you're going to write down 10 things that they all have in common that you don't yet have.
Yeah.
That's going to change the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's what guys do.
Because when I look at these relationships online, and they're two relationships, and like those YouTube relationships, because I watch them a lot just because it's just on my view page.
Mm-hmm.
But like I see myself, and I'm like, wow, I see myself dating that person. Like, why can I not find someone that's like,
Does the level the women are on, are you on that level?
Yeah, but I honestly don't think that they have any much different.
Show me one.
What do you mean?
Show me one.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to themselves that you've yet to start doing, because you can do that.
Okay. I love these two.
All right, let me see.
So she's showing him, I guess, an Instagram couple, and she's thinking, I want to have that relationship. I want to have a man like that, and I want to be able to get on the plane and go to Morocco or go to Paris or go to Barcelona, you know what I mean, go to the Maldives. I want to be able to do that. And at the same time, a lot of women don't realize that all that stuff is fake anyway. They really buy into the fantasy. So kids like, yo, just show me what you're talking about. And I'm sitting here looking at her, bro. I'm telling you, I got her at 3.5. I'm giving her as much as I can. And I'm going with on the premise that she's probably really sweet, right? Maybe she can cook really nice. And then as I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, maybe, maybe she got a big booty. You know what I mean? Maybe she got a kadunk. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. And if she has that, that's definitely going to push her up. Like that'll definitely push her into the 4, maybe 5 range, because she's like really sexy and maybe she can kind of sexualize herself a little bit, which sucks for women, but that's the game. Remember, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just a messenger. So let's continue.
Is this Montana and Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay. Making an I don't know. Sorry guys, I know you can't do this. Okay, darling. So I'm gonna ask you one question. Who's more attractive?
Her.
Oh.
But he's still attractive.
Sure. So are you more attractive than them?
I mean, I'd like to say I'm on like similar.
You have to be super honest. Are you more attractive than not similar? Are you more attractive?
What, for the people that I want or the people that I
the people that you want? Are you more attractive than he is? Be honest.
I don't think.
Kit, she can't be honest. The answer is no. She's not more attractive than the dudes that she wants. And Kit understands that. Just trying, like he said, just be honest. He's like, I guess their slang is cuss. Maybe cuss means the same over there as it over here. She's like, don't cuss me. You know what I mean? Maybe that means like, don't roast me, like don't bust me out or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? But they're beyond that anyway. He's like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just being 100. You can see how Kit's put on his coaching hat. It's like, yo, I'm just coaching you here. She, show me the picture of this couple that you want. You want this type of life. Montana and whoever. And it's like, okay, you want this? Okay, who's finer in this picture? And right away, she was like, who's more attractive? And right away, she says, the girl is. She instantly said it. Kid said, who's more attractive in this relationship right here? Oh, the girl is. Okay. And now Kid's like, are you more attractive than the guys that you want to be with? And she's hemming and hawing. Every woman understands where they are on that scale, 0 to 10, 1 to 10, whatever scale. They know where they are. But if you ask a woman to rate herself like Kevin Samuels used to do, scale of 1 to 10, you can't use 7. If you ask a woman to rate herself, right, and you put her back against the wall, she's going to say she's a 10 every time. Every time. And it's not realistic, but fellas, you got to understand why she's saying that. Why is she saying she's a 10? When you ask this woman who was clearly on a scale of 0 to 10, 3.5, 3. Let's just take the halves out. 3. And if she's got a big butt, you could push her up to 4. She got a big butt and a nice attitude, you could push her up to 4. Why does this woman tell folks that she's a 10? Because she gets so much attention and validation from all the dudes out there, the invisible guys, the bottom 80 guys, and some of the top tier dudes. Then in her mind, she's like, I must be a 10. Look at all these dudes that I banged. And even if you take the sex out of it, okay, I ain't banged none of these dudes, but look at all these dudes in my DM. Look at all these dudes who send me cash apps. Look at all these dudes who take me out for lunch, who take me to dinner. Look at all these dudes who take me to the theater. Look at all the dudes who take me to the movies. Look at all the dudes who send me, roses and candy and whatnot on my birthday, on Valentine's Day, right? She's getting all that attention, bro. So why wouldn't she think she's a 10? I would think that shit. Wouldn't you? Of course you would.
I don't think I'm less attractive, but I don't think I'm more.
Okay, you need to be more. She is.
Yeah, she is.
She is. Show me another couple. Show me another one. Sorry, guys, I know you can't see.
But he treats her so well.
Oh,
Show me
whatever.
another
Show
one.
me. Look at him.
Okay.
Kid Tony. Show me another one.
Okay. 1 second.
This is really. Maybe I'll get my editor to like show who they are. Should I just flip it? I'll just flip
Yeah.
it.
Okay, wait 1 second. Don't.
It's not that hard. It
It's
doesn't
hard
matter
to
who they
find
are.
these people just like that.
No, it's not. She's trying to find one where the guy is more attractive than the girl. That's what she's trying to do. She's going through a bunch of them. She's trying to find one where the guy is more attractive than the girl, and she can't find one.
Why is it not coming up?
Who are you looking for?
There's this church. There's this couple, and they're very deep rooted in like God and stuff. But they're very like both of them actually.
Sure.
But I can't find her.
And I apologize. It looks like I'm glitching out there, guys. I apologize. I've upgraded my systems and everything with my internet provider. So just gotta bear with me. I'm sorry. Let me get rid of this window here and get rid of my chat GPT. Maybe that'll help. She's trying to find a couple where the guy is way more attractive than the woman, and she can't find one. That's what she's trying to do. She's scrolling through. I guarantee that's what she's doing. She's scrolling through couple after couple, page after page, Instagram profile after profile, trying to find a dude who's more attractive than the woman. And she's like, oh, it's just Christian couple, where the dude is probably fit and the girl is probably chubby. That's what she's looking for.
Find anyone.
Who else is
I'll
on?
show you the next one.
Who is on the couple spectrum that I watch? I stopped watching. I did stop watching a lot of relationships because I find that sometimes I can be quite toxic.
So it's like, for example, right? I'll give you.
They're like the main people that I watch. Oh my god.
Okay.
Them.
Are there any others?
I'm trying to think. Oh, really? Maybe them too here. This guy, he stepped in when she already had 2 daughters, and now they've got a child.
I'll show you that. Oh, well, this team is getting like. This team is getting like. They're getting free promotion on this.
I know.
I have to show both of them. Okay, there you go. That's who we're looking at. I don't know if the camera will do that. Oh, sorry guys. This isn't actually. Oh, okay, it's not gonna work. Anyway, they're called Raylene. Okay. All right. So yeah, she's thick. She's got curves. All this stuff. Okay, who's more attractive, him or her?
That's not him.
Oh.
That's not him.
Who's him
the
then?
other one. Let me show you.
This guy? Anyway, out of those two, obviously we all know who we're looking at, right? Who's more attractive? Who garners more physical attention, him or her?
Probably her.
100%.
Probably her.
Yeah, it's her.
Where is he? She doesn't really show him much. This is her personal account.
I wonder why she doesn't show him much. Women are extremely intelligent. You will have a lot of dudes in the red pill space talking about how dumb women are. We'll see it on Fresh and Fit or whatever podcast where, hey, name 3 countries, name some continents, whatever. We get it. I mean, is in America, it's just as many dudes are just as dumb as these women when it comes to that sort of thing. But socially, women are superior to dudes. Just like men are superior to women physically, socially is their strong suit. They know what they're doing. This young woman right here sat across from Kit. She knows what she is doing. She knows what she is doing. She was purposely trying to find a woman who kind of looked like her, that had a dude that was more attractive, so she can. I don't think she's trying to prove Kit wrong. She's just trying to get herself out of a little jam. She's in a pickle right here. And she's pulling up stuff, and Kat's like, all right, I see the girl. Yeah, she's got a couple pounds on her. She's curvy, but she's still sexy. Who's more attractive, him or her? And she's like, oh, she is. But that's not the couple that I wanted to talk about. She's doing her best to work herself out of this position. I haven't seen this video all the way through, so let's keep going.
But
already a red flag. She doesn't really show much.
No, they
Exactly.
have a together
Exactly.
account, but they also have like a personal
Still.
account.
Oh, where's
'Cause
that together on there?
Still red flag.
That's right. But anyway, you answered the
Oh
question, right?
wait, Raylene and Reese.
Say his name.
Yeah. He's actually good. He's an attractive guy.
Wait, can you tap that? So yeah, tap the screen. Sorry, I want you to see it. Maybe I have to hide my face.
There it is. She
Oh, okay, there we go.
BBL,
Cool.
see-through
Okay,
clothes,
like,
red
cool.
flags, red
Okay.
flags, red flags. Red flags.
Who do you think is more attractive out of those two, him or her?
Her because I think she's stunning.
Yeah, she is more attractive than him.
Yeah, but he's also I think he's also attractive though.
He is attractive, but she is more attractive.
Oh, actually, him, KB and Carla. Just one more.
This is the last one.
This couple's
Oh, she wants the bag. She wants the shoes. She wants the attention,
Oh, she's pregnant.
the validation,
Okay, that makes sense.
and all that.
She's not pregnant no more.
She is. Well, she's in the video I'm looking at. She said,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show my face. There you go.
She's fine.
Getting, like
Yeah, she's
free
pregnant.
promotion on my channel.
They don't listen. They're very popping.
Okay. So,
Did y'all peep how tall dude was? Right, he's the dad. He's hoping, fingers crossed, he's the dad. Right, like you just don't know. She was very attractive. Her makeup was really well done, probably professionally done for that shoot. And we don't know what's going on when the cameras are off. We have no idea. Like I said, that might ain't be his kid. They might just be getting the money. But old girl is falling for this hook, line, and sinker. Little shorty on here, like, look, I finally found something. And even that dude was like super tall. She's little. The woman that was pregnant in that picture, man, she was like 5-something, dude, well over 6 feet. Right? Like, it's just, guys, you gotta wake up and just understand the game. And a lot of guys are like, man, I ain't trying to play. I don't want to be part of the game. But you're not truly MGTOW. Like I said, even the MGTOW guys, the real OG MGTOW guys, they played the game before they decided to go off over yonder by themselves. They played the game. And when they want, they can get a woman. When they're ready, they can holler at a woman. If a woman comes along, they know how to find it. They just don't want to pursue it, but they know how to do it. You can't be a guy with no game, no experience whatsoever, bottom 80, invisible dude, and be like, I'm MGTOW. Because these women the juice ain't worth the squeeze. How do you know you ain't never squeezed for the juice? How do you know? That's just the loser mentality. You just a quitter, right? Understand the game, learn the game, man. Get out there, get you some reps. Go ahead, you know what I mean? Get your hands dirty, man. Get your uniform dirty. Go out there and get some grass stains. Go out there and get rocked one good time before you decide you want to leave and check out forever.
Who would garner more physical attention, him or her?
Her.
Are you seeing a theme?
Yes.
And I'm just giving you one.
But I find both of these people attractive though. Like I find them both. I feel like the guy is not like a punch. Like he's not punching compared to her.
No, I'm not saying he's necessarily punching, but she is more attractive than him because I bet you this. I bet you he's at least definitely when they met, he was more successful than she was. Bet you. Otherwise,
100%.
That woman wouldn't even go there.
100%.
He was, this one, he was like trending. I think he was going viral on Vine or Vine.
Yeah.
But back then, he actually approached her and she completely ghosted him. Like she didn't like him.
Did.
No, I know.
And then later on,
sure. What I'm trying to say, but his attractive and he.
Yeah.
So you need to look at who the guy pursuing you.
Yeah.
That's where you're at currently.
What if I attract like uncles?
No, like if you're a young woman, you're gonna attract uncles anyway.
Look at these people try like me, and I'm like,
okay.
What did I do to deserve
that? Happens. But what I'm trying to say is that
y'all hear that? And Brother Penny's right. That women have that. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. You know what I mean? Rest in greatness. Kevin Samuels said that all the time. That the women have that need to be right. She understands what Kit is talking about. Kit is saying you need to have a dude that's going to pursue you. And she's sitting there. She completely understands what he is saying. She's not going to acknowledge it on camera or accept it so everyone else can see. She completely understands what she say. Well, what if I get the uncles? What, you know what I mean? What if I get the old blokes? Look at it, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do if they come after me. Or however they say it, whatever they say over there. And she almost let it slip, but she was basically saying, I'm not fine enough to get the guys that I want to pursue me like that. She almost said it. Did y'all hear it? I heard it. Maybe, or maybe it was the Jack Daniels I was drinking tonight. But to me, it sounded like she almost said it. You know, like, let's listen again.
No, like if you're a young woman, you're gonna attract uncles anyway. That's not.
I look at these people that try like me, and I'm like,
okay,
what did I do to deserve that?
It happens. But what I'm trying to say is that I guarantee you, when they met, he was in a better financial economic position, like just generally like more successful than she was, which made her give it a chance to go, oh, actually, there's actually something about him, right? And she's more, and he pursued her.
I think
so you have to ask yourself, okay, realistically, the guys that I want, not am I the same level? Am I more attractive than he is?
Because all of these have one thing in common, is that they've built their career off of YouTube, TikTok, because as a couple. So a lot.
That's neither here or there.
She's trying to reframe it, and Kit's not letting her. Shout out to Kit for that. She understands what he's saying. She's just not ready to admit it on camera. When the cameras go off, she'll definitely admit it. Like, you're right. Kit's saying you're gonna have to get someone who is under you to pursue you. That's what he's trying to say. And she understands she ain't really up there. Like I said, I give her a 3. On a scale of 0 to 10, I give her a 3. 2 steps below the median, which means she's going to have to find a dude that's not like a 2 or 1 or a 0. No, she's going to have to find a dude that's willing to pursue her, that's more attractive than she is, but she understands that guy's not going to be a 10 or a 9 or an 8. The best she'll be able to do is maybe a 7, but more likely it'll be a 5 or a 6. And she doesn't like that. She simply doesn't like it. And that's fine. I ain't mad at her. You know, she's got to make a decision. Do I continue to let the top tier men blow my back out and let me give them dome, give them head whenever they want? I go over there and sexually satisfy them, and then they throw me in the closet. You know what I'm saying? I go, it's a slow Tuesday, it's a slow Wednesday. They don't even call me an Uber. I got an Uber over there and Uber back. They're not even rolling over, giving me a kiss. They bust one and go to sleep. Do I take that, or do I allow the 6 or the 5 to pursue me? That is the dilemma for the modern woman today, right? And she was trying everything she could to not be wrong.
Like, but economically, they both grew together. Do you know what I mean? On majority of the part, like, it's not like one person has more than the other.
I put money on the guy would have started higher than her for sure.
Maybe
because she would be getting
100%.
attention from attractive, successful men as well. Like, so what is it about him that made her go, okay, let me give this opportunity? It's just the way it is, right? So I'm just giving you one thing from what you've showed me. One thing we've established is that all those women who were the kind of men that you want, they are all more attractive than him.
Yeah,
that's just one thing. We haven't even got into how she is with him, got into how she's shown up in those videos in terms of as a couple, what is she doing, what's her like care routine, how she look after us. We haven't got into any of those things. We've just gone to one thing. So this is where we have to be really honest with ourselves and be like, okay, am I ticking that box for the kind of man that I want? Or as a man, am I taking that box for the kind of woman that I want? Do you know what I mean?
As a man, do you go for someone that's better looking than you?
I'd probably say the majority of women I've dated casually or serious have been at least attractive as me, if not definitely better looking, for sure. My girlfriend is more gorgeous than me, for sure. I'll probably say like the last like handful of girls I've dated the past couple of years have all been very attractive, like more attractive than me, for sure. But of all the women I've ever dated, if you ask how many were actually on my level of success, barely any. Maybe 2, and those 2 were like 15 years older than me.
Oh God.
He was getting it in. And here's the thing. She's not going to ask this question. He's not going to volunteer the information, but she wants to know, would a dude like Kit shag her? And shag is smash, I think, in UK. They probably got some new slang, but shag, smash. She's probably sitting there thinking, would you smash me? And the answer is, Kit would be like, yeah, on a slow Tuesday, you know what I mean? When I was just out there doing my thing and slaying the work, you know what I mean? Just slaying chicks. But now Kit's probably like, I'm a committed relationship. You ain't fine enough for me to jeopardize that. I ain't just trying to get one off. This is the problem women face today. They get around some top tier dudes, some high value men, and these high value men will, sneak them into the coat room, blow their back out. Not even blow their back out. Give them some real lazy dick. Just give them some lazy dick and then go on about their business. And these women will be like, oh, he had sex with me. Therefore, I'm at that level. That is the hardest thing for women to wrap their head around because women don't do that. It's very, very, very extremely rare to have a 8, 9, or 10, a woman just meet some dude who's like a 3 or a 4, no money, no nothing, and just smashing. That it's just rare. Now, could you have a woman who's an 8, 9, or 10 smash a dude who doesn't have any bread but he's got game? Yeah, it can happen. I know dudes that did it. Right? I mean, it can happen. You just in the right place at the right time. You got enough game to see what it is. You don't screw it up. One of the things I tell you, what did I tell you all the time, guys? Have enough game to where you don't screw it up. You don't put your foot in your mouth. You don't blow the situation. Be able to acknowledge and understand what's going on. Sit back and see she's trying to get it in. Let her do her. Don't say shit. Let her do all the talking. Whatever she got going on in her head on that hamster wheel when she's fantasizing about you, all you got to do is sit back and let it happen. Right? The only thing you should be saying to her was, shit, baby, ready to slide out? And she's going to be like, yeah, let's go. Or she might be like, let's just go in the bathroom real quick. She might slide you into a spot somewhere in the joint, you know what I mean, wherever y'all at, and let you hit. You feel me? But most guys screw up that situation once they realize, like, oh man, she might be trying to have sex with me, they'll fuck it up. They'll do something wrong instead of just sit. I see it all the time. But there are guys who understand that, who don't have a lot of money, but they'll be at some high-end event, at at the Met Gala or at some sort of release party or at some, mansion party somewhere, some elite function, and the dude in there. And then even in that case, the women there assume that you're somebody because you're there. Like, you ain't here with millionaires and billionaires. You must be, obviously, clearly you're somebody. You wouldn't be here. And you add your little game to it. You got enough game to know how to handle the situation, and she'll smash you. Been there myself. I know a lot of dudes have been there. And like I said, I was at my peak when I was broke. So I was getting chicks all the time. I ain't had no money. But then the guys were like, well, but you were over 6 feet. Yeah, you were fit. You know what I mean? You had game. You were handsome. Okay, whatever. Like, if you're looking for a reason to fail, you can surely find it. But if you're looking to succeed, all you got to do is do the work, gentlemen. This woman right here doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to do the work. She's a lady, right? She's a lady. So dudes are always going to come holler at her, but she wants the absolute top tier best dude. And Kit is talked her into the corner like, baby, you ain't going to get that. Let's continue.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Not everyone could be like you,
similar
Kit.
level.
Not everyone could be like you, okay?
No. But what I'm saying is the women who maybe I'm not on their level, I would never attract them.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they're looking at guys above them.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that I'm just giving you the reality.
No, it's true.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So it's like, because if I know, okay, cool. If I know and beauty and eye beholder, sure, but there's objectivity, right? But part of why those women, even though they were more attractive than me, part of their attraction to me is because, a lot of women say they want a guy that they can look up to in certain areas, in certain aspects. So they go, oh, he's like doing this, doing that, and I'm not there yet. Or that's maybe inspiring, or I find that really attractive because that's maybe ambition or whatever it is, right? Because do you want a guy to be your level of ambition or more ambitious than you?
More.
100%. So a guy
I don't want someone that's going to make me... One thing about me is I need someone that pushes
For
me.
sure, right?
Because I get into my head a little bit in like life as well. Not that I need someone to like make me do stuff, but everyone likes a little push. Like I want to be with someone that I'm like, oh yeah, no, I need to get it. You know,
For
I need
sure.
to get that bag.
Yeah, I get you. So the guy who's more ambitious than you
Mm,
is probably going to be more successful than you.
yeah.
As in, like, he's probably going to be in a better position than where
Mm.
you're at now. Hence why
Yeah.
that's attractive.
I don't really necessarily, and I think that's good. That's fine. Let it be that way. Because I think there are some women that are predominantly the breadwinner of the relationship.
Sure,
You
if
know,
that's what you want.
and yeah, that's what you
go
want.
for it.
For me, I think not that I don't want to. I want to be successful in what I do. Don't get me wrong, but I do want to feel like the person I'm with has something going for themselves, because I do find that when you come across men that they give off the vibe that they know that you're doing better than them, it can like they just say I'm speaking to someone and I'm telling them the stuff that I'm doing or I want to do or whatever the case is, and they come off from a place of like insecurity where then as much like
Maybe,
that
yeah.
can be quite
Sure. I think a
off-putting
lot
as
of time
well.
as well, I think for many women, they find it difficult to respect a man as a man in a relationship if she feels she's ultimately doing better than him.
Just not even, it's just more about the mindset for me, because
Sure.
I know that if to get to where you want to be, sometimes it takes time, because even me, I'm not where I want to be,
For sure.
but it's the mindset. It's not, I hate a man that thinks so low, like
I
his
agree with you.
standards are like there, and I'm just like how am I meant to feel like we're going to have a good
So here's
life?
the thing. You know how you see that with financial economic success? That's how guys see it with like attractiveness, like presentation, fitness, looking after yourself. If a guy is like that up here, he's like, there's no way I'm choosing a woman who's not equally yoked, if not more than me. So like she should be able, like me being with her, I should be able to get into better shape, better skin routine, better presentation. I should be getting that from her because she's as equally yoked, if not more than I am. Do you know what I mean? So like, for example, like, I love gammon, I love pork and stuff, right?
Ew.
But I know. But my missus recently was like, yeah, that stuff's not really good for you. Now I'm eating less of it.
Yeah.
Now, even though that's something that's like, it's like, okay, that's something that I've taken on from her because maybe she eats a bit more clean than I do. And I eat pretty clean anyway. So it's like, guys, how you see the ambitious success side of things, which is completely valid as a woman, that's how guys see that element. Like, guarantee you, all those women in those relationships have that.
Yeah.
More than him. And that's what you have to start asking yourself.
Yeah. And also for me, obviously,
she's completely ignoring the game he's trying to put her on to. Completely ignoring it. Sister Jody is in the building. What's good, sis? What's good, sis? We good. We doing all right. Life is definitely life, and you ain't never lied about that. I actually, Jody, I had to go to the Hillsborough County Jail for 65 days. Go back and watch the video where I talked about that a couple lives back. I broke down everything that happened, but I'm home now. I'm cool. I'm doing my thing. Definitely gonna work on that story. And yeah, bro, Michael, man, like that. I'm thinking she doesn't have any extensions, but her hair is awfully shiny. So I don't know, man. I don't know about the hair hat. J Bones is in the building. What's good, fam? Welcome. Let's show you some love. Good morning to you. Yeah, man, she is not picking up what he's putting down. But like I said, she truly understands what's being said. And Kit does an excellent job of just keeping it right there. Just keeping it right there. Right. And at the end of the day, she's gonna just hang in there until she can manifest a 7, 8, 9, or 10 is gonna come and sweep her off her feet. And man, Disney fairy tale. And it ain't gonna work. She's gonna be successful, get her money more likely, and freeze her eggs and all that other kind of stuff. And and if she makes enough money, she might decide that, what, I'm just gonna buy this sperm and buy the genes that I want for my child, get pregnant by myself, have a child, and just be a single mom. That might happen. I know it's happening over here in the United States a lot, and I would imagine the same thing is going on in the UK.
It's the believing in God part. I think that's a massive thing too, because like
Sure.
because obviously my relationship, I would like to keep like that God at the center of it, and that comes with a whole lot, because then you're not really doing it for yourself. Like you come to commitment with someone, yes, and I guess that's the thing that I'm now learning, like how to articulate or like be in like a faith-led relationship, because I've never in my life been with someone.
Have you dated anyone from the church?
No.
Why not?
Well, told you about that one situation that never
Yeah.
ended never ended being a thing.
Too busy getting her back blown out. That's why, chasing after these top tier men.
But that doesn't mean it was wrong.
No, I don't think. No, that's the thing. I don't think it's wrong at all. And like, you know what? I definitely don't think that. Like, I'm not saying that we would never cross paths. Like, I just feel like that really, that whole situation is not wrong. It wasn't wrong. If anything, it taught me a lot. And I still think that I'm rooting for him. I want him to do so well. Like, he's a very, very talented person. Like, really, really good. Like, honestly, wouldn't say anything bad about him. And that's a really nice, comforting thing, that I'm not like, oh, you this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think in church as well, my church in particular, he's not from my church, by the way, but it's very intimate and it's very small. And I think that I don't know if my person is in there.
But they have like Christian.
I don't know if my person is in my church. I don't know if the man that God has for me is in my church. Why is that? Because there are no guys in there over 6 feet. There are no guys in there perhaps that are single and fit. There are no guys in there that make, over 6 figures. There are no guys in there who are high value or top tier men. That's why she's saying that. Where, is the guy that God wants her to be with in there? Probably. And, y'all know I ain't in the church like that, but yeah, probably. Yeah, she's not cute at all, bro. Like I said, 3. She's a 3, and the more we watch this, like, she doesn't have a good attitude either. So she's like a solid 3, man. I mean, she might be dropping down to a 2.5. Right? I mean, and I don't think she has that. Like I said, she might have a banging body. I don't think so. But this is, again, another problem. They don't want to listen to religion. They don't want to listen to the religious folks. They don't want to listen to God, but they want to claim the religion. God, they will tell God what God needs to give them. You need to give me a footballer who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's fucking 6'8" and his perfect genes, and that. Nah, that's not gonna happen. That's not it. You know what I mean? I mean, bro, like I said, she's slow Tuesday, slow Thursday material, 100%. 100%. Am I saying that I would never smash a chick like that, or I have never done that? Hell no, I can't say that, bro. If I said that, I'll get struck down right now. The player guys will strike me down where I sit. That'll be a lie. I got a closet full of big girls, but you never see them, you never meet them, and I have plausible deniability because there ain't no pictures, right? I'll be Bill Clinton and I ain't never had sexual relations with that big chick. I'll be right there denying it because you ain't got no text messages, you ain't got no emails, you ain't got no regular mail like letters, you ain't got no pictures, nothing. I'm saying I got plausible deniability.
Conventions.
Yeah, there's like worship nights and like all these kind of stuff. I guess I just have to put myself more out there.
If you're saying you want a man of God specifically, then you should just choose from that pool, really.
Yeah.
If that's the most important thing for you.
And it's not.
As opposed to maybe what those guys have.
But they are Christian.
They may say they're Christian,
Well,
but I don't
like,
believe they're as religiously scriptured.
No.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip,
that was a good clip. Shout out to Kid. That was really good. This is what's going on, man. This is what's going on. And I want to talk real quick. Jump on some. It's I get a beyond. I get Deborah Soul was talking about this. Uh, let me see if I can find something. I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about this looks maxing thing because she touched on it, and it's people out there. This looks maxing thing. What everyone gets wrong about looks maxing. Here it is. This is. She was on Chris Williamson's show. Let's pull this up real quick. And that are out here looks maxing. Like these young dudes are out here looks maxing. They don't understand that when a dude looks maxes thinking he's gonna get women for some long-term shit, that they don't understand that looks maxing might help you get some short-term play. But if you're broke, no social skills, you don't have anything that women really look for in long term, they're not gonna keep you around. Right. And that's the same, like little Shorty, we were just watching on Stay Slick with Kit on his platform. Yeah, she has access to high value dudes, but they just gonna pump and dump her. So the looks maxing is the equivalent to that. When you have women who are highly sought after dealing with a looks maxer, you got a woman who's dealing with clavicular, and then they'll realize, okay, yeah, he's cute, but the dude is a weirdo, right? Like he doesn't have any social skills whatsoever. Like he's awkward. He doesn't know what he's doing. And one of the biggest things is he doesn't have any stories. This is something, young men, this is something y'all need to do. You need to engage in life, and you need to get some stories. Get some stories, bro. Y'all know I got nothing but stories over here. I've had all kind of experiences, right? From the streets to the military to like air traffic control to just random things. And y'all haven't heard but a fraction, because we only be talking about like the dating and all that kind of stuff. But I got so many stories, man, that just things that I've seen, things I've been around, like just crazy shit and funny things, like just stories. So when I'm sitting around with women, we're just talking, I could tell her a story. And she'll be sitting there like, wow. And a lot of times I'll tell a story with people who were there. So they'll come up and be like, oh, yeah, yeah. And they'll verify the story. And these women are like, wow. Like he was doing these crazy things with those people. Them were some cool kids over there. He was doing it with hanging out with those people, and he got these stories. You need stories, gentlemen. It's not the looks maxing that's going to get you there. It's having an exciting life full of stories and having charisma. Y'all call that shit riz. I think that's a dumb term, but I'm just an old dude, so what I know. But having charm will take you so far, bro. Like it will take you so far. It's unbelievable how far charm will take you. So you need stories, man. You need charm. But let's listen to Chris Williamson talking to Dr. Deborah Soul, and this is the woman who wrote Sextinction. And I'm definitely gonna do a follow-up on Sextinction live. As soon as I finish the book, we'll probably do it tomorrow, maybe Monday. I'm gonna talk about it. And it's an amazing book. It really is. It just, the red pill stuff, all of the red pill talking points are there. There's all of the science and all of the studies that back it up. But then she gets into some other stuff that I'm not 100% on board with. She talks a lot about DEI. And I'm not with her argument. I get where it's coming from, but I'm kind of not with it. She talks about sex dolls, and there's a part in chapter 7, at the end of chapter 7 is really disturbing when she's talking about sex dolls and the type of sex dolls that are out there. Really disturbing. And then in chapter 8, she talks about, how people are reproducing now. Like you don't need men to have babies anymore. You can buy sperm and, become a single mom by choice, and what birth control has done. And it's really interesting, guys. If you haven't read it, it's called Sextinction. The book is downstairs. Normally I have it on the shelf behind me, but definitely check it out. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's a worthwhile read, and it's pretty quick. I mean, it's a pretty quick read. It just I slowed myself down by that last part of chapter 7, just really wrecked me. And she gives you a warning, like, hey, before you read on, you might want to just skip to the end. I should have skipped to the end, but I'll be finished with that book tomorrow. We'll talk about sextinction fairly quick here. But let's check this out. Chris Williamson talking to Dr. Deborah Russell.
Happened to plastic surgery over time? Have we seen increases in it? Have the types changed? What's the context of people getting different looks? The Kardashians did the BBL for a while. Is that still in?
Now it is breast augmentation for Gen Z women. So they are actually, boob jobs are very popular among that cohort.
Okay.
I do think that's influenced by pornography. Also labiaplasty. I was just looking actually at a study a couple nights ago showing that very many young women feel self-conscious about their labia and are actually getting these procedures done, which is also influenced from porn. And it's just crazy to me. It makes me wonder, is that why people are not interested in having sex? Same with guys. Guys are getting filler injections into their penis for even sexting purposes. Like they just want to look bigger.
That's so good. George, my housemate, used to make this joke every time that we were on a plane. It was the same, it's kind of like a dad joke, but he's not yet a dad. And those teeny tiny 175 ml cans of Diet Coke?
Yeah.
He would always say, it's like, I'd keep a hold of one of those and I'd go back and I'd take a dick pic with it in the background. So it would make it look, it's like, oh, that's a 3.
And just in case you guys didn't hear it, let's listen to that again. Let's run that back one more time. What dudes are doing. Right? Because he's asking about plastic surgery and BBLs, and she's talking about breast jobs. And just real quick, and I think you guys will agree that we got to listen to that one more again. Hold up. Let's listen to it.
Nights ago showing that very many young women feel self-conscious about their labia and are actually getting these procedures done, also influenced from porn. And it's just crazy to me. It makes me wonder, is that why people are not interested in having sex? Same with guys. Guys are getting filler injections into their penis for even sexting purposes.
Wow.
Like they just want to look bigger.
Wow. Fellas, if you're taking shots into your pee-pee so to look wider when you send a sext picture, a dick pic, you have lost your entire mind. What are you? What? This is insane. If that's what y'all doing, you're gonna stick a needle and inject some craziness, and that's in the book. Sextinction is in there. I highlighted it. We're gonna be talking about it down the road. She got really detailed with it, talking about exactly what type of procedure and what was being injected. My God, man, when I read that, I was just wow. Like, yeah, who does that?
That's so good. George, my housemate, used to make this joke every time that we were on a plane. It was the same, it's kind of like a dad joke, but he's not yet a dad. And those teeny tiny 175 ml cans of Diet Coke?
Yeah.
He would always say, it's like, I'd keep a hold of one of those and I'd go back and I'd take a dick pic with it in the background. So it would make it look, it's like, oh, that's a 330 or a 355 ml can, but I've kept the airplane mini, and that's,
I
comparatively.
should be doing that instead of getting the filler in their penis.
I agree. Make Diet Coke, mini Diet Coke's great again. So yeah, the labiaplasty and the penis stuff, it seems to be obvious that it would be influenced by porn.
But even things like I see like news reports of women under 30 getting facelifts, getting upper eye lifts, right? And in my personal opinion, I don't think women that young need to be getting extensive work done because you do not have the signs of aging yet to justify.
What do you think they're trying to do?
Well, I think if you look at, say, when women are the most fertile, it tends to be mid-20s. So my sense is most women are trying to look like they're in their mid-20s. So if you're older than that, you're going to try and look younger. And if you're younger, you're trying to look older. And so you're going to choose the...
Yo, that's insane that's what young girls are doing. If by chance there's some women or some young women watching this, we know we got Sister Jody in the house, but if there's by chance there's women watching this, ladies, especially if you are young, if you're still a teenager or you're in your 20s, you're like in your young 20s or your mid 20s, you don't need any work. You don't need any plastic surgery whatsoever. You are at your peak when it comes to your youth and your beauty. You are there. You don't need to add anything. Men do not like BBLs. Most dudes aren't really crazy about the fake boobs. Some dudes are. Someone like Michael Sartain said, "Oh, I love the big fake boobs." And that seems to be like a white guy thing. Me, I'm a guy. I love all natural. Like, bro, I like all original equipment. You just got all your original equipment. I think you are perfect. I just love beautiful women. I don't need the makeup. I certainly don't need like what Brother Michael is always talking about, man. Like Michael Lee is talking about the hair hats and all that. I don't need that. I don't need all the craziness. I don't need all that. I just, naturally beautiful. At the top of the show, I was talking about the server who's like really beautiful, like very gorgeous, tattoos or whatever. No upgrades. This woman is definitely older. No upgrades, no fake breasts, no BBLs, no, you know what I mean? I didn't see any Botox. I didn't see any fillers. I didn't see any nothing. Just natural beauty. Ladies, I'm telling you, that's all you need. But these women are going after these guys and especially these top tier dudes, right? These guys are all the way at the top of the pyramid. And these guys are beginning to some weird stuff. And they'll, these guys are like, I'll buy you some breasts. Like Wes Watson bought a boob job for some young girl he was messing with. And he wound up going to jail because he did some horrible things to her, allegedly. And according to the police report. I mean, these dudes, why? They don't. Ladies, don't do that. Let's keep going.
I found out some really fucking uncomfortable data around when men are most fertile. Really young.
Yeah.
It's really young.
Yeah.
Like illegal in some states, young. And you go, really? It's just, I don't know. We talk about women's biological clocks. We never really think about, because there's so much sperm, right? Speak for yourself. But there's so much sperm. And you only need one.
Larger window, though. They also have a larger, like men can still impregnate someone later on in life. There are higher rates of chromosomal abnormalities, but the potential, whereas for women, it's a little bit more unforgiving.
But anyway, so you think, well, I've seen, what is buccal fat? Buccal fat?
Yeah, buccal fat removal. Yeah.
That the cheek fat thing?
Yeah.
What's that trying to achieve, do you think?
To look older, because you're removing the baby fat essentially in your face. But what happens is as you get older, your face naturally loses fat, right? And so you're going to look more gaunt. And
You've overshot it.
Yeah, and then you might potentially need to use filler too.
So I got fat removal before I was 24. And then after I was 28, I had to use filler to replace where I got rid of the fat. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be clear, like, I don't want to come down on men and women if they choose to get these procedures, because I understand, especially if you have a public facing job, there's a lot of pressure to keep your looks up and to look young. But my concern is more so when it's really young people, or I would say even for men who are doing this, you really don't need to. Like,
it is brutal. I mean, some of the young girls, supposed to be young girls that I've seen videos of on TikTok, these like 22, 23-year-old chicks, and they look mid-30s or 40s with all of this work that's been done. And I was thinking, I was having a conversation last night about how the sort of ideal female form has changed, even with sort of relatively extreme cosmetic procedures. So Geordie Shore, which was the British equivalent of Jersey Shore, that back in the day was a lot about fake tan. It was big hair.
We're gonna jump ahead.
It's a lot to do with, I'm not really seeing anyone talk about tan.
Looks maxing part
with men and women now. It's just what the next evolution stream. Look at the brows, the cheekbones, the mandible surgery, all that stuff.
For women especially, I think it can also be the equivalent of showing off an expensive handbag. So instead of saying, here's my designer bag, or
here's my designer titties,
or that my lips or whatever, like I have a man who will pay for my surgery and make me look like this.
It's a good argument for why, that I've heard about why women have long nails and long hair. It's just fucking impractical. So it is itself a status of wealth and luxury, that not only can I maintain them, but I have a life that requires so little hard labor that this
Yeah.
hair and these nails and this makeup. I mean, female intersexual competition is just like fucking endlessly interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Like shoes and bags,
Mhm.
exclusively intersexual.
Yeah.
I mean, he's making some good points. I'm trying to find the part when they were talking about looks maxing. And I'm just gonna jump ahead a little bit here. And I think it's here. I will definitely link this and the entire hour plus in the description below. You can go back and check it out. It's really good. It's really interesting if you want to go back and check it out. But let's see if we found the looks maxing.
They want average face,
Yeah.
or sometimes actually slightly feminized face with masculinized body.
Yeah.
But all of the guys are just pushing toward heavier brow, a deeper jaw, stronger cheekbones. But do you know the David Putz study that he did about when he brought people into the lab and got women to rate attractiveness and men to rate formidability?
Remind me.
So fucking good. So photos of guys shown to women and men. Women were asked to rank how attractive do you think this man is. Men were asked to rank how likely do you think it is that you could beat this other man in a fight. 1 year later, they brought the men from the photos into the lab and asked what their sexual success had been over the last year. And the female ratings of attractiveness had basically zero predictive power for their sexual success. But the male ratings of formidability were very predictive.
Wow.
So even though what I think is happening at level 1, this is like the Epstein files, at level 1, where he didn't kill himself, is looks maxers are optimizing for formidability because they're disregarding women, and it's intrasexual competition because I just want to mog other guys. I just want to be better than other men. Level 2, Epstein's still alive and playing Fortnite in Israel, is actually by pursuing formidability, they may end up closing their eyes and throwing the dart at the dartboard and hitting the bullseye of women actually finding them more attractive than if they'd tried to pursue attractiveness as the main outcome. But this is working theory at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, because I could see that in terms of tattoos, there have been studies to show that men, when they get tattoos, it actually is more so about scaring off their male rivals, because women don't. Some women like tattoos, but not all do. And some women actually are turned off by tattoos. So it's more, again, like you said, of scaring off and beating your rivals than directly attracting women. But I also wonder if it's that these men are projecting onto women their preferences. So men care more about looks and, youth. So I wonder if when you look at, say, marriage or marital satisfaction, whether men find their wives attractive has a greater correlation with their marital satisfaction than whether women find their husbands attractive. So I wonder if these young guys are projecting onto women, thinking that women care so much about looks when it's actually that's what they care about in their partners. So
it's a failure of cross-sex mind reading using their own assessment criteria.
Yeah.
And saying, you must think the way that I think, I'll do more beautification. Well, Mac and Murphy's got this great idea where he talks about how the increases in male beautification are to try and offset this inability to get hypergamy to work. That men have realized that because they can't win socioeconomically, they might have to turn
I've read about this. That's crazy. Yeah.
the vanity mirror around in an attempt to out beautify their socioeconomic lack.
Yeah.
And people think this is new, what they're talking about. This was going on in Rome. There were dudes in Rome that were prettier than women because they were doing whatever they do in Rome back in the day. When you have academics and super nerdy intellectual type people having these conversations, when I hear it, I'm like, okay, I get it. I see what y'all saying. Like this little part right here about the vanity and all that. It's like, but who are the dudes that are actually doing this? Like the looks maxers or guys who are afraid to talk to women and they've given up on women. So they're just trying to, like they said, mog each other, which is a silly ass term. They're trying to compete with other dudes without actually getting a woman. Hey man, I got more plastic surgery than you. I'm mogging you. More people like my picture than you. When you got dudes doing these surgeries, doing all this extreme stuff, just so they can have a woman sit there as an accessory. They ain't trying to smash, they're not trying to have kids, they're not trying to have a relationship, they're not trying to do any of that. They just want to be like, look. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. That shit don't work. And the thing is, we're getting these generations now of men that are just, man, they just out there. They're just out there, and they've not only have they given up, but they've never even tried. I mean, and it's crazy, bro. And it's crazy, And one of the things, like I've seen this before, bro, brother Michael, man. You got to get lean if you're between the ages of 18 and 30, bro. You could be a fat bastard, bro. You could be black and ugly as ever, just like Biggie, and you can get Notorious B.I.G. and you can get mad women if your game is on point. Appreciate that, man. Like you definitely, this is what we're talking about. You're an exception if you can make the girls laugh. You have game and you understand women. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, even with the status thing, the reason I would say I have status is because of my social skills and my ability to network. But when I'm out and about, like if we just out somewhere kicking it and I see a woman that I find attractive, I'm gonna go over and start up a conversation. Right. And I'm gonna be able to holler at her. And then when women see me talking to the most beautiful women in the spot, other women, it's just perceived value. Like, wow, she's talking to him. He must be it. I need to get this guy's attention. It all feeds on itself. But if you don't understand the game, if you don't study the game, you won't have a chance. You won't have a chance. So I'm gonna link this video below, like Brother Michael saw it, and this is a good one. Dr. So was also on Club Random, that's Bill Maher's podcast, where he was sitting there drinking and getting high. And she was sitting there and she was like, "Oh, I think I got contact high." And then Bill Maher and Dr. Deborah have a relationship. It goes back to when he was doing his network stuff. So if you haven't seen that, that's really worth checking out. Just type in her name and Bill Maher and hit enter, and the video will come up. I watched the entire thing. She's done quite a few videos talking about her book and what's going on in dating with guys and women and young men and having babies and all that, relationships. And I've watched 4 or 5 of these interviews because, like with Bill Maher would cut her off when she was trying to explain something because he would jump on to something else and he would want to talk. Like Bill Maher spent the majority of the time talking instead of letting her speak. And then even with Chris Williams from here, he went off on tangents. Like right when she was getting to a good part, he would go off on the tangent and kind of throw her off. And she would even look at him a couple of times like, what are you talking about? And, it kind of messes up the flow. But she's done a bunch of interviews. And so I encourage you to watch at least 3 or 4 different interviews when she's talking about the book, Sextinction. And, you'll get a good piece here, a good piece there, a good piece over there. And she's like the thing with guys and doing injections into their penis, like that is insane. Don't do that, fellas. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Trying to make your thing wider doesn't make any sense. And I want to say she was on Rogan, and if she hasn't been on Rogan, I'm pretty sure she will be soon. Because she dropped this book a few months ago or whatever. So anyway, we're going to leave it there. Right, fellas, at the end of the day, when it comes to dating and getting out here and hollering at women, yeah, it's a lot of work. Can't even lie to you. Not even about to attempt to lie to you. It's a lot of work. But the payoff, it'll be the best payoff ever. When you find a woman that's really into you, you're into her, you vet her. Remember, 2 years to vet her. Just 2 years. It's really hard to fake somebody out for 2 years. You vet her for 2 years. She turns out to be the one. You guys have a committed relationship and you decide to go out and, you determine what that relationship is going to look like. You go out, you start a family, and you guys form Voltron. Then you both become the prize at that point, and you guys go out and take over the universe together. That is the best feeling you're ever going to have. I've never gotten there completely, but I've had moments where I thought I was there and things were going really great. Man, those moments were great. And then, of course, when it didn't work, man, it hurt. Man, it hurt. This is why I'm always telling you, man, be careful with your emotions. Keep your emotions in check. Don't let your emotions out until you know for sure that she's the one. Otherwise, it's really gonna hurt. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try. That's what I'm telling dudes out here, young and older. Like, don't be afraid to try. If you're MGTOW, you've gone your own way. Don't be afraid to, if you bump into a good one out in the middle of nowhere, don't be afraid to try. If she's on like the next, what I mean, the back 40 or whatever, she's way up yonder somewhere and you bump into her, don't be afraid to try. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, she was on Rogan. I'm gonna check that out. 11:47. Definitely gonna check that out. Oh, that was 2018. That's before this book. That's when she was doing that book about gender. I still might watch that. And brother, I appreciate all the good the kind words, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being a day one, man, rocking out with me from the beginning, man. I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna wrap this up. The next time we get together, we're gonna probably talk about sextinction, but also coming up next week, I found a video. You know those videos when they talk about every level of being whatever, like every level of being a samurai or every level of being uh, uh, a gang banger, every level of being, whatever. I found a video and it says every level of attractiveness for men, from the worst to the best or whatever. I found this video. We're gonna talk about it next week. I watched a little bit of it, like the beginning, and I stopped watching because I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a good one. Let's just save that video for the pod. So we're gonna do that probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm looking forward to doing that one. We're definitely gonna finish up, do a part 2 live, talking about sextinction. I'll be done reading the book, and we'll be able to kind of, talk about it. I have, bro, so many highlighted portions of that book. So I'm gonna go in there, like take some notes, go in there, and kind of go through the book. And I'm looking forward to that, man. That's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. And then, of course, we're going to continue talking about our politics. We're going to talk about what's going on out here with our economy, the housing market, especially the condo market in Florida. Crazy right now, bro. Crazy. There's going to be some amazing opportunities in Florida to buy some condos, to buy businesses, to buy whole strip malls if you have the cash. Problem is, you're going to have the cash because the banks are probably not going to loan you the money to make these purchases unless your credit is immaculate. And we still got to sort out the insurance issues down here in Florida. I know we got a big hurricane coming. You got all these earthquakes. I'm surprised we ain't had like tsunamis or something like that with a big earthquake in Venezuela. And also, I found a nonprofit in Tampa that helps with, like helping victims of these natural disasters. And I'm going to be going down there, volunteering some time and getting work with these people. Actually, going to take some water down and some canned goods and clothes, and hopefully they'll be, not hopefully, they will get all that down to the people in Venezuela who need it. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about the 2 earthquakes that hit Venezuela. It was 7.2 and 7.5. Absolutely devastated Venezuela, especially near Caracas. And the death count alone is already over 1,000. This thing might be tens of thousands of people, wounded and killed. The video is coming out of there of the buildings that falling down. Just incredible, man. It's just insane. So if you got a couple of dollars left over, or if you got some time to donate, maybe you can go donate with one of these organizations, who help out in these matters. I mean, I would suggest that you do it. Not only is it a great way to network, but it's just the right thing to do. So there's a place literally just 2 miles, like 2 or 3 miles away from me. I'm going to be going down there Tuesday and, probably volunteering some time, helping as much as I can, and networking. And like I said, get a bunch of water, some canned goods, some toys even for the kids, and some clothes and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to do that. Yes, I will definitely be doing thumbnails for those shows. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everyone who was watching. Please don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We here and we ain't going nowhere. And check out the shorts. YouTube is pushing those YouTube shorts like crazy. So check out the shorts. Don't be afraid to hit those shorts, like those shorts. And I'm out of here. It's almost 3 a.m. I'm tired. It's time for me to lay it down. This was a lit Saint episode. We just came in here, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't be afraid to leave comments. Anything you want to cover, throw that in there as well. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, hit me up. And we don't have the Patreon or the locals done yet. I think I'm gonna go with locals, maybe do a Patreon later. But it's coming. It's coming, guys. I got sidetracked. Remember, 65 days I had to sit down in jail. Oh, and we're going to be talking about that. Remember, Tuesday, Crime and Punishment Tuesday. So Tuesday, we're going to be talking about crime and punishment. So either Monday or Wednesday, Monday we'll be talking about sextinction. Wednesday, we'll be talking about every level of attractiveness for men. Tuesday, we're going to be talking about crime and punishment stuff. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. You guys have a good night, good morning, wherever you are. Stay safe. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.
Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your support. And if you like that video, check out this one or maybe that one. We'll see you around. Peace.